Hello guys, I've got a bit of a golden oldie for you here today. This must be the oldest model kit that I've bought. It's a Wills Finecast Auto-kit of the 1961 Ferrari Shark Nose Formula 1 car. As you can see here on the front, it's an all-metal deluxe construction kit, authentic in every detail. Now, I'd never seen or even heard of these kits before I saw it pop up on an eBay auction a few months ago, and I snapped it up for about £23, which I thought was a bargain. Looking on Scalemates, it seems that Wills Finecast was a company that was active from 1955 to 1987, and this kit, serial number 003, was one of the earlier F1 cars they produced. I couldn't find out when the exact tooling was first made, however. There is a website for a company called Southeastern Finecast now, and they do list various cars there, including this one, but it isn't clear from their website if they're still in business. In fact, I had a quick look at the code of their website, and that shows it was created with Microsoft Front Page 4, which was released in 1999 and hasn't been available for the last 20 years, so I suspect they're maybe no longer in business. Although it doesn't mention the model number on the box, this kit is of the Ferrari 156, which was Ferrari's entry into the 1961 Formula 1 Championship. Such were the F1 rules at the time that 8 separate drivers competed in the 156 during the 1961 season, most notably Phil Hill, Wolfgang von Trips, and both Pedro and Ricardo Rodriguez. The latter two being Mexican racing drivers, after whom the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City would be named. The Ferrari 156 won 5 out of 8 races in the 1961 season, with Phil Hill winning the Drivers' World Championship and Ferrari winning the International Cup for F1 manufacturers, which was the equivalent of today's Constructors' Championship. Unfortunately, the Ferrari 156 would also be involved in one of history's worst motorsport accidents at the Italian Grand Prix. Heading towards Monza's Parabolica corner, Wolfgang von Trips' Ferrari collided with Jim Clark's Lotus on lap 2 of the race. The resulting accident saw von Trips' car fly into the spectator area, killing him and 15 spectators. In response to this accident, Ferrari would withdraw their cars from the following round at Watkins Glen. The Ferrari 156 was updated several times for use in subsequent F1 seasons. Now back to the kit, let's have a quick look around the box. So on the long side here, what have we got? Okay, same thing, deluxe construction kit. Fits together with glue apparently, no solder required. And apparently this is a modelling masterpiece made without special skill. I'm assuming that means I don't need special skill to make it, as opposed to they haven't used any skill when they made it. Not much on the other sides of the box. Made in England. Finsbury Pavement, London EC2. Right, let's have a look inside. We'll start with this classic looking piece of promotional material here. Incidentally, the reason I'm wearing gloves is at the time I wasn't sure whether this kit was potentially made out of lead or not, so I wanted to avoid touching it with my bare skin. So we've got a promotional leaflet here in good condition, going through the various kits that these guys make. We've got a 1963 Lotus there, so I guess that's the earliest date it could be made. We've got a Lotus Super 7 there. They were first made in 1957, I think, and what we've got there, a Porsche 904, I believe they were made in the early 60s, 1964 possibly. Is that a 65 Lotus 33 we've got over there? So maybe that's the earliest date this kit could have been released, or my boxing of the kit could have been released. There's some great kits here. Is that a 67 Brabham? Yes, it is. So it doesn't say so on the outside of the box, but this is 1/24th scale. It's for the collecting connoisseur like myself. I've seen pictures of later versions of these boxes with polystyrene insets. This one has the cardboard one, which makes me think it's a bit earlier. We've got the plastic there, presumably for the windscreen. And then this very old typeset instruction sheet. It's not really so much an instruction sheet as just a diagram of how every single piece goes together at once. Assembly instructions, 1961 Ferrari, just that big diagram there with all the parts together. A list of parts, components on the left hand side, and the paint colours are there as well. And then we've got the procedure, the assembly procedure, as a series of steps there that tells us the order those things should be added. And rather helpfully, it does say here, should any parts be accidentally broken during assembly, please send the broken part along with 1 shilling 6pence to cover the cost of postage to Auto-kits Limited. Was it 1971, I think, that the UK went through decimalisation? So I guess that puts a top limit on when this particular kit was released. Okay, so let's have a look inside. We've got what I'm assuming is a non-original plastic bag here containing lots of parts. We'll come to those in a moment. We've got some decals here which are yellowing, as you might expect, but perhaps not as much as you might expect. Interestingly, we only have the number 3 option there. Then we've got these huge parts here for the top and bottom of the main chassis. A little bit of a seam line / moulding mark there, casting mark there, which will need filing away. Quite rough on that side. Quite good detail though on the mesh there on the top. It's actually not that bad. And then the lower part, again, obviously it's going to need some cleanup, but they do fit together reasonably well. And the metal's soft, so that gap there, I can just squeeze the 2 bits of metal together, and that gap disappears. This is going to be an interesting one to build. It also feels a little bit bigger than 1/24th scale. Thinking of the modern F1 kits I've built in that scale, they seem to be a lot smaller. Surprisingly, the rubber tyres are also very soft still. They haven't melted or gone hard or anything like that. And here's the bag of loose parts which the eBay supplier supplied. First of all, we've got the seat. I guess that drops in like so. Maybe the other way up, I'm not sure. Suspension pieces there, with what looks like rudimentary sort of guidance markers on them. Exhausts which look fairly well moulded. Presumably they go somewhere back here. We must look at the instructions. Wheels with the wire spokes. Interestingly, we have about 8 of these, so I'm guessing that each wheel is composed of 2 parts. I shouldn't really guess, should I? I should look at the instructions. Okay, so the instructions have us start with the main body, cleaning those up and producing a good finish. And then step 3, glue the filler cap cover to the underside of the top body half, and also glue the 2 air intake cowls into the D-shaped holes over the rear axle, ensuring a good fit with the body surface. Okay. Select and clean up the front suspension components, 4 through 10. Glue the lower wishbones into positions on the lower body half. Note that the 2 fine saw cuts on part 4, 5, 6 are in line and face forwards. Okay. Okay, well that seems to be quite a detailed description as we go through there. This will be an interesting build. I think a lot of it will be spent cleaning up these parts. I need to research some tips and techniques for making white metal kits. I do have a couple of Tamiyo, however you say it, 1/43rd scale kits as well, which are also white metal, which I need to get around to building one day as well. But yes, I thought I'd just show you a quick look at this kit, as it is something a bit unusual. I hope you enjoyed this quick look. If you did, please consider hitting the like button or leaving a comment below. I would like to thank all of you for watching, including my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. And I will see you in the near future for a longer video. Thanks for watching, guys.